Well, afternoon, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. If you get an opportunity, if you're not a current subscriber, please do so that way you can keep up on the material and also my opinions involving World of Warcraft. Now, currently, our guild is focusing on mythic content involving HFC 6.2 forward. We recently did a revamp of our website to streamline it and make it more productive and more interactive for individuals that are in the guild and outside of it. Naturally, because of the fact that we focus predominantly on PvE rating, that's what the material is going to be focused on consistently in our forums and also through our logs. Now, taking a look at our new website, you'll see that on the home page now, we're going to keep these areas right here to show our ranking and also our current recruitment. We're going to have the current trending forum posts available here in the middle, which are going to be predominantly what we're attempting towards, and also logs. You'll see those two kind of rotate in on a consistent basis, so you can click directly on it, and also website hit counter. We've had some really good traffic since we opened it up. This is when we started introducing it again in this section right here, as you can see with the pointer. We got up 35, and then you can kind of see when we're posting it consistently for recruitment purposes and views. So we've had quite a bit of people taking a look at it, and also players coming and registering on the site, or checking out, for example, some of the posts and whatnot. And I really want to thank you for that. That's one of our goals currently, is to get more participation on a consistent basis involving it. Now, as far as each part, we added an About Us page that has an introduction, has our current raid team outline, which will be updated in March on the 2nd. If the current one needs any. If not, then we'll continue with what we have available. It also has a leadership section with each one of the leaders currently present and active with their battle tags, and a fun little outline that Alec put together, and then an About Us section that Zoltamore was nice enough to put together, and giving kind of an interpretation of how we are and how we like to have fun, but also like to keep it serious and non-toxic in our raid environment. Back up to the top, we have a members section that we added now. We also have, for example, our forums. Now, the forums are going to be focused on whatever the current content is, and then the current logs that will be associated to it, and that's how we're going to plug them. Now, as far as for logs, when I put the logs up, you're only going to have the log forum created if it's something that's current. So, attempts on mythic content. Recently, because of low attendance on Sundays, we've been doing predominantly achievements, and we're only like a few achievements out from actually getting that done. Anytime that we have lack of attendance being present, then what we're going to see is us going to do some mythic runs in High Mall and also Blackrock Foundry, so that way we can work through a couple of more mechanics and kind of learn, get a little bit deeper well of experience involving how Blizzard likes to present the boss encounters. That'll be really fun until we can get ourselves, for example, to that consistent attendance rate that we're trying to shoot for with a concise roster instead of having a bloated roster. Okay, Legion 7.0 is available too, but there's nothing posted in it yet. As soon as material becomes available consistently involving the first raid tier, with beta, for example, rolling out pretty soon, I'm sure. Once that starts to show, then boom, material is going to start going in there, and we're going to start creating it in the exact same way that it is currently formatted here, where it'll start off with announcements, and the announcements will be associated for normal and heroic, and then mythics will be threads. Okay. We have a VHR join section that we've taken care of. The YouTube channel now goes directly to it with no hiccups, so you can go right to it, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be able to get updates consistently. Facebook group is the same way. Twitch, we're going to start broadcasting on Twitch in 720 again. Start promoting it on a consistent basis, so that way people that are interested in the guild can also go ahead and do a live review. Twitter's still active, so if you want to tweet me, go ahead and do so. Guild logs now. We fixed guild logs so that way they'll go directly to the calendar. So you can click on a specific log as it becomes available and be able to look at the material as we go through it. Okay. We also were able to make an adjustment. If you click on attendance now, attendance is going to take you to right here. Now, what we found out recently is that you can set up specific groups. So, for example, it says Mythic Raid, and then I added a couple of Heroic Normal. Those are just plugs to kind of see how it works out. But what we're going to do is, as we move forward, we're going to start adjustments here, so that way the mythic content, for example, for HFC will be plugged into there, heroic, normal, etc. And then as we move into 7.0, it'll be the same thing. And what that's going to allow us to do is be able to get exact attendance rates for those that are continuously participating night in and night out. And that really helps us with being able to understand tracking-wise where we're at, what we need, and how we need to move forward as far as players that we're looking for. Now remember, we did recently change the overall attendance rate up to 90% from 85% because that, after looking at the forum that I created on the MMO Champion thread, it's pretty much a standard. I mean, the reality is that you can either have a bloated roster or you can have a concise roster. And bloated ends up putting us into a position where we just are constantly having to rotate in between 3 and 5 players on mythic content, and if the players aren't doing the necessary background review for the encounter, for example, then we're going through like 15, 20, 30 reps just so that way everybody can get caught up, and then finally we start to put good reps together, and then the night's over, right? And remember, we try to raid less but as efficiently as possible. So, for example, from here forward, as stated before when we did the outline review last week, 90% is considered what we're shooting for, no matter what, okay? Now, I know a couple of you, because of work and the schedule and whatnot, we've already talked about that, so don't sweat that. But the idea is to try to get as many 90 percentile people being present, okay? Currently, we have 10 players for the last posted dates since we started doing this, so 7 dates that are at 100%. We have 7 players at 83%, so that might as well be 85. You know, that means you just missed 1 at this juncture. We have 6 players at 66%, so that's 2 days being missed, and then we have 2 players at 33%. So my goal consistently is to push that 10 at 100%, and that 7 that's at 83%. That for me is an average of about 90%. We're really close. It's like about 92% with about 17 players being presented. So currently, as recruitment, I'm going to be looking to get at least 2 to 3 more DPS and 1 heals to be presented and be available. And they will be offered full-time rating opportunities. If they can't do it, then they'll be moved to sub until I find that. And that's just what I have to do moving forward, so that way we can be in the best position of success. Okay? Currently, some updates on players. Blue is going to be moving into a leadership trial position where he's going to assist me with recruitment from here forward. So if you have any potential raiders that would be interested in doing content, you can contact me or Blue. And we're going to be working forward and doing interviews, for example, and continuously reaching out to other players so that way we can get that roster issue taken care of. As far as for Mondays and Thursdays, as I highlighted, that's now going to be led by Sills Druid with a merger of his guild, Cross Realm, to do normal and heroic content HFC. It's open sign up on our calendar, so if you're interested in it, please do so. Raid leaders, we need help there. Anyone can take that position, so if you're interested in it, contact me, and then I will put you into a trial rotation as a leader, and you'll be responsible for assisting Sills in that position. The idea is to give us a great opportunity to strengthen over our core, and also an opportunity to be able to do evaluations of players that come in. So we might see what we have, for example, as we go towards Legion. We also need to go ahead and talk about Loot Council versus EPGP, and where we can kind of find some balance there. The issue is that I've had 3 players that were really close to signing up, and 2 of them doing a server transfer, and then we brought up how we handled loot, and yeah, wonk, wonk, wonk. They were like, earn my way. Didn't happen. So might have to go into a direction where we do a Loot Council approach, and I'll have to ask players, for example, to email me or post a best in slot list of the current tier as we move through it, each tier forward, so that way we can do a Loot Council, or we're going to have to go with a more consistent decay numerical of like 5-10% on a nightly basis. So that way it's always an opportunity for individuals that participate consistently to be in a position to be rewarded the gear. Site updates, we've already gone through quite a bit of the material that's already presented, but we have had quite a few people being present, and I appreciate that. Now we need to take the next step and start getting more posts going on a consistent basis. So if you have an opinion, share it. It's really simple. Everybody's word counts for something. So if you see something in the way that we're doing an encounter, or for example you watch a POV video, link it, talk about it, or a replay, for example, in Warcraft logs, you see something that they do, link it, talk about it, so that way we can get as much information as possible and be as efficient as possible as we go forward and how we're going to attempt each one of the bosses. Okay, I appreciate you taking the time watching the video. Again, if you liked it, please click the thumbs up below, subscribe, register on the website, get that attendance up, work with us if you need. We need help with recruitment, so do that. Sills project involving the normal heroic runs, do that. We've got a lot going on, a lot of excitement. Yeah, that's it. So I appreciate you taking the time again. Please click like. See you in game, okay?